guys? So today's squat challenge is day 26 or 27 of the squat challenge. Can't be certain. You'll know when I put it in here. But it is a super high rep day. 25 sit-ups, 80 crunches, 95 squats. Whoo! Not ready. So I'm gonna go ahead, knock this out, get it done for you guys. See you in a second. Let go. That was 96 squats. That sucked. That sucked. All right, guys, so I just finished today's squat nap challenge. 25 sit-ups, 80 crunches, 95 squats, I think it was. I did 95 anyway, just in case I was wrong. Really tough. I also did cardio in between, and I did some planks, like 2 sets of 30, just because I'm trying to get my core strength up a little more. I would say of all of the exercises, the crunches probably killed me the most. 80 crunches is a lot for me. I'm Southern now. For me, so it was really hard. I'm about to make some BCAAs, a little bit with some water, take a shower, get dressed, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in a minute. What up, you guys? Okay, so the last time you guys saw me, I just got done doing my ab and squat challenge for the day. It was really, really high rep. I'm talking 95 squats, 80 crunches, 25 sit-ups. So I got a lot done today. I actually just had lunch with a girlfriend of mine, and I was telling her a really interesting story. So I had to spill some tea with y'all today. So yesterday, I don't know if I shared I think I did when I was doing my workout. I think I told you guys we were under tornado watch yesterday here in Florida. And I may insert some footage of the storm. But there was a tornado watch, and we got some really strong, severe thunderstorms that kind of swept through our neighborhood and swept through our town. Now, when I went to pick my daughter up from school, there was just so much rain. It was super dark. I don't know. It looked really scary. Picked my daughter up around 3:20. By the time I got to my neighborhood, it was like 3:24, because it takes like 4 or 5 minutes for me to get to my neighborhood from her school. So I ended up getting to my neighborhood. It looked like a twister was coming through our neighborhood. Stuff was flying everywhere. Basketball hoops were knocked over. Trash cans were flying down the street. I felt like I was in the movie Twister. I felt like I was Michael Bay in a Transformers movie. Like, it was legit scary AF coming home, to the point where I literally got in my driveway, put my car in park, opened up my garage door, and like made my daughter run into the garage. Like, we ran into the garage to seek shelter because it was just so crazy. I didn't even turn the lights off on my car. I didn't turn the windshield wipers off. I just literally put it in park, turned it off, and jumped out the car. About 15 minutes later, the storm passes. Everything's great. The storm had stopped. So my daughter still had karate and jujitsu yesterday. Her sensei had not posted that classes were canceled. So around 3:38 or so, we decided to leave a little earlier than we normally do to make it, just to fight the storm and fight any traffic going toward her class, because her karate class started at 4. as we were pulling out of the neighborhood, I had noticed that my neighbor next door's fence had been broken, like from the wind. It broke off like a plank of the fence. And I was like, damn, like the storm was so strong, it broke off a straight piece, like a chunk of their wood off of their fence. That's how bad the storm was. So as we're pulling out of the neighborhood and I get to the stop sign at the end of my street, I see a German Shepherd and a Border Collie running from the whole other end of the neighborhood through back kind of toward my neighbor's house, toward my house. And I'm like, oh my God, that plank of wood that broke off was actually the latch part of their fence. The fence gate, I guess, was open and the dogs got out. And she's at work. She's not home. Her husband's not home. So I was like, oh my God, like their dogs are gonna get hit by a car, or her dogs are going to go missing and she's not going to realize what happened. I'm not friends with her. Let me preface this by saying I am not friends with my neighbors. We've had beef in the past over fence and property lines and other drama. I've had issues. We don't have beef now. We're cool now. But at the time, we haven't always seen eye to eye. But I'm also the type of neighbor that even if we don't see eye to eye, I still like to look out for this person. I still want to make sure if your front door is open and for like an hour or two, like, girl, I'm about to call the police and I'm gonna let you know, like, look, your door was open. Like, shit looked shifty. So I found her on Facebook because I knew her name and I messaged her on Messenger. Like, we're not even friends on Facebook. And I was like, look, girl, your animals are out, they're roaming the neighborhood. So she didn't respond right away because you have to accept a message from someone you don't know. And I'm sure she was trying to figure out who I was, because my image on my Facebook picture is not of me. So then as I was leaving out of the neighborhood, I'm like writing her this message as I'm leaving out of the neighborhood, and the school bus to drop the kids off that live in our neighborhood pulls up. At no time did I correlate that these dogs are out, kids are getting off the school bus, maybe these dogs will chase the kids. Like, because the dogs were not really known to me to be aggressive. Like, they bark at you, they run at you, but I've never really got an aggressive vibe. I don't like big dogs per se, so I would run from them, or I would like want to get away from them because it's a German freaking Shepherd and a dang Border Collie. But I just realized I did not get any phone calls from the groomers. Sorry, just got distracted because I dropped my dog off to get groomed today and I haven't heard from them. But anyhow, as you can tell by the size of my dog, I don't do big dogs. My dog is very little. So, it didn't correlate to me or to think that in any way these dogs would be aggressive to the children or chase the children. So we leave the neighborhood. We get to my daughter's karate dojo and they're closed for the day. They sprung a leak from all the rain and everything, so he canceled classes. So it literally, from the time I left my neighborhood to get to the dojo to get back, probably took about 12 minutes, maybe 13, 14 minutes. When I pull into my neighborhood, there are about 4 squad cars, all at my neighbor's house, my daughter's little best friend's house. The door, her garage door's open, the interior door to her house is open, and the police are going in and out. And I'm like, oh my God, something happened, someone broke in, or maybe like, because the velocity of the wind and stuff breaking off my neighbor's fence, maybe it broke a window and something in her house, and they come home by themselves. Their parents work, so they're home alone for like an hour or so before their parents get home. So maybe they got scared and they called the cops. So the dogs are running around still outside when I get back and while the cops are there. So in no way, again, did I associate the dogs and what was going on with the police at my neighbor's house. It seemed like the dogs were just a nuisance and they were kind of just jumping around and being around the cops and barking at the cops and running away and coming around. But it never seemed like the dogs were the reason for why the cops being there. So it turns out the dogs did in fact chase the children home after school once the kids were going to their house, and somehow, because being panicked, because the daughter's the 5th grader and the little son's a 1st grader, being panicked and being home alone, the dogs were able to come in right behind them in the house, like force their way in. Like, they didn't like slam the door on the dogs, so they like literally like ended up running in their house with them. And so they actually had to like barricade themselves in one of their rooms in their house and call the police to have the police get the dogs out of their house. So the neighbor whose dogs these are and who I reached out to, who again, like I said, I'm not her friend. We've had issues and we've gotten into little tiffs before. she messages me a couple hours later because I guess she had went over to the neighbor's house to apologize for the fact that her dogs had scared the children. The dogs didn't attack the children, didn't hurt them, but they did go in the house, and I guess they did some damage to the inside of the house. They urinated in the house. But she, again, didn't mention that the dogs were in the house at all. Like, I heard this from the mother of the kids who were chased. And she went to apologize to the mother, and I guess the mother just was not having it, honey. I guess the mom was like, screw your apology. Your dogs aren't acceptable. I don't accept your apology. So my neighbor, I guess, got pissed that her apology wasn't being accepted. And she called my other neighbor a bitch. And so it's just so much drama going on right now. And I feel like I'm dead smack dab in the middle of it, because then I get messages from the neighbor who I texted in the first place, or messaged in the first place, telling her that our dogs were out, like venting about that neighbor. And I'm trying to be neutral. I'm trying to be Switzerland. You know, I'm trying to be just neutral right now. Like, listen, guys, I don't want to fight with you guys. I don't want to be a part of your fight, your rift. I've had my tiffs with with this person, and you weren't involved. Like, I did my job and told you your dogs were out. How was I supposed to know your dogs were going to chase kids into their house? Like, the mom has the right to feel how she feels, that her children were alone and scared and chased by two big dogs into their own home. And we live in Florida, honey, the stand your law state, honey, where you can get a gun anywhere, anytime, honey. So had an adult been in that house, they could have shot those dogs well and when they're right to have shot them dogs, especially a German Shepherd. Like, that dog is already known to be an aggressive breed, or a breed that can be taught to be aggressive. It's a police dog. It's known to be trained on command to attack people and do shit. I mean, it's been used in civil rights movement. It's been, it's a dog that is not just a cuddly little Labrador. Like, it is known to be, at times, it can be a killer. Okay. So the cop, even at one point, apparently the cop tased the German Shepherd, is what I was told by the mother of the children, at one point, because the dogs wouldn't leave out of their house. So the dogs actually had to be tased in order to leave the house. Now, I don't know if the girl who owns the dogs knows that her dogs were tased, to be honest. But she did vent to me, and I kind of was trying to be like central. Like, I see both sides, and I don't think she should have slammed the door in your face. But also, you have to understand her standpoint. Her kids were in danger. She felt they were in danger, and they were, and again, like, this is before I even knew that the dogs were in her house, but she's upset that her kids felt scared, but it was just a lot. So I met up with a friend. I had to spill some tea with her about that, and we were both going back and forth, because my friend's an animal lover. So of course my friend's like, she sees both sides as well, because she's a mother, but she's also an animal lover. So she's like, well, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't like she left the dogs unattended. Like, at the end of the day, the storm broke her fence and the dogs got out, and they were probably scared from the storm themselves, and so their natural instinct is to seek shelter or whatever, and they chase the kids inside the house, and it's a lot of drama. But it's just crazy, because I feel like I live on a real life wisteria lane, and there's like drama, so I'm getting two stories from two different people, and I feel like I'm just in the middle, and then I feel like guilty, like if I wave to one or say hi, because I literally don't talk to either of my neighbors like on a personal level. It's literally like, hey girl, what's up? Like, like the obligatory wave. So I just don't want any of them to like come to my house and like try to have long, lengthy conversations with me, so the other one doesn't think that I'm like talking about them. Like, I just don't want to be involved. I want to be neutral. I had my own problems with my neighbors, I don't need to be involved in everyone else's bullshit. So yeah, just thought I'd sit in the car line and spill some tea with you guys real quick and tell you about the little drama. So now, I guess my neighbor with the kids is like getting animal control involved, and she like wants to use my name with animal control, which is kind of like, huh? What? Why you need my name for? Like, what do I have to do with this? But if it comes down to it, like I said, and animal control for some reason calls me, I will for sure be like, look girl, like, I don't have any beef with them. The dogs never attacked me. I didn't see them chasing the kids. Like, I'm going to be honest about my situation and my issues with the animals, because I don't have any, like my perspective is that I didn't see it happen, and I don't have any issues. I mean, I am their neighbor. I live next to them, but I don't have any problems with them. So I don't understand why my name even needed to be used, but we'll see. I will keep you guys updated on that tea if anything else comes of that whole drama. But I'm in the car line per usual. I will call you guys later, let you know what's going on. Holla at your girl. Yeah, see you in a bit.
Yeah. Why you drive so fast? Why you drive so fast? Girl, where you gotta go? Girl, where you gotta go? Baby, you should try and drive slow. You should try and drive slow. Cause you going 45